And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Pretty far away. Let me zoom in a little bit. How's everybody going? Happy Wednesday. Today is May the 14th. We are roughly halfway through the month. I did want to quickly mention and apologize. I am not super prepared for today's stream. The last couple of weeks, I've had the correct things laid out and just been sort of better positioned. But I've got family flying in today and tomorrow. And then I'm flying out with Aaron tomorrow to Chicago for a family member's wedding. So it's just been a lot of additional stuff this week. So also today, because I have family flying in and just am trying to wrap up a few things before I go, it's probably going to be a bit of a shorter stream. I also anticipate there's quite a few people that are preparing for or already on the road heading towards Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Fest. So for anyone that is going and traveling, I hope you have safe travels and a ton of fun. And if there's anything cool that you see, please take photos and either tag me or post it somewhere in the Discord. I definitely would love to see any cool projects or products and stuff like that that's being showcased at Rocky Mountain. So thank you, Hasio. I appreciate it. Let's see, who's all here today? We've got Dark Third is in the house, like the Jedi have returned. Steve's here. Yeah, Hasio, Los, the Shrimp Father, Kaidorn, Petty Rex, how's it going? Hey, 1060. I think that is everybody. Birdman, how's it going? We are thankful and along for the ride. Don't stress. I appreciate it, man. Lord Git, how's it going? So, a couple updates on things. I did do a few things off stream. Things I mentioned I was going to be doing off stream. Hey, Raj, thank you so much, man, for the 2 months. Cheers. Cheers, thank you so much for the support. Hey, Beads. So, last week, we ran into a couple of weird things. So the first was that the back lead screw, let me change cams. It's gonna be a little bit weird. It's always a little awkward on big printer builds, sort of showing you guys things. But for anyone that wasn't here, I kind of want to bring you up to speed. Just zoom in a little bit like this. So for anyone that doesn't remember, and the angle is a little bit off on this, but I assure you it's pretty straight. But basically the issue we ran into was with this back lead screw right here. It was not lining up with this coupler. Like it was off. It was off like at least half the distance. I think this is an 8mm lead screw. So let's just say it was off like 4 or 5 millimeters. And in order to get it to line up, the coupler was completely like just kinked. And we verified that the motor shaft wasn't bent. We tried a few different things. And the thing we ended up doing was basically pulling. Let me turn this around. Oh, I did start the irrigation out, Hasio, with lots of pain. The irrigation is all set up, man. I've got the valve done in the ground. I tested. I woke up at 5:45 this morning to make sure that my automation with the sprinkler thing was working. But yeah, I've got 4 full beds of vegetables on irrigation. I've got 4 fruit trees on irrigation, 2 raspberry plants in the ground, a small tree, another raspberry, and a couple blueberry. Like everything is basically hooked up to drip on automatic. So the only thing I'm gonna have to ask my sister-in-law to do is just water the strawberries because they're on a separate bed right up against the house, where I just didn't have a chance to run it. But yes, I did get it all working. The worm clamps were basically the answer, and tightening things. Like the issue, man, it's similar with 3D printing and just stuff in general, but like a lot of the instructions say like tighten them tight, but not too tight. But the word tight doesn't mean anything. Like, is this tight? Is this tight? So basically everything that I thought was tight was not tight. It required an extra twist. Also, I had to add, I talked about it last week, but Teflon tape to pretty much everything, with the exception of the couple parts that had gaskets, or one of the parts had an O-ring. And one of the funny things was one of the parts that was leaking. When I took it apart and looked at it, there was a missing O-ring. So go figure. Didn't matter how tight I tightened it, it was never going to work without that O-ring. So I went and bought a variety pack of O-rings and got that working. So yeah, hopefully, I still have a bunch of stuff in the garage before I leave. I need to put all of my 24 pepper plants into bigger cups. But outside right now in the yard, there's 6 tomato plants, 4 zucchini, 4 corn, some broccoli, some Brussels sprouts, and a few other things. So yeah, we've got a lot of veggies. So anyways, I'm gonna try to keep it as much as I can on topic today. But what was required of us last stream was, instead of having this vertical extrusion in line with this, we had to push it forward as far as we could, and that allowed us to line it up perfectly, or pretty dang close to perfectly. Hey Clown. Hey, Kirsty's in the house. How's it going? Hey Zodi. So yeah, that I resolved that. That was actually Delmar's idea. It was between that and just having the coupler sort of compensate, but this seemed to be the better solution. And then the other issue we ran into was this lead screw seemed completely like kinked left to right. I noticed kind of on one of the other ones it seemed to be that way. And the issue was really the instructions. The instructions told us to install the, can you guys see it? You can kind of see it. This is an anti-backlash nut, and it told us to install this and then install the base. But the base has no left and right play really, while this injection molded part has left and right play. So the solution was tighten the lead screw into the coupler and then tighten this down so that way it was straight. So I reached out to Makertech. I was almost going to report back. I didn't hear back from them, but I did hear back from them this morning. They said that they already updated the docs to reflect this change that we decided was the better route to go. And they did say that based off the way this lead screw is, that pushing it forward was the correct solution. So sounds like we're doing all the right things. On top of that, the things that I did off stream, which I had mentioned I was going to do, you can probably see for anyone that was here, but the bed is installed. So I basically just did the magnetic flex plate along with the silicone heating pad, which is down below here. So I got those installed, and then I did some cable sleeving. I'm hoping I have enough distance. If I need to, I can give myself more distance with this cable sleeving, but I've got the cable sleeving routed all the way down, and then I'll show you what's going on under the hood here. It's not super pretty. I didn't spend a whole lot of time on really pretty routing, but it's functional. So this is what the bottom looks like right now. Let me turn it a little bit so maybe there's a little bit better view. But yeah, since there isn't cable raceways, everything's just kind of zip tied all over the place. It looks good up here, but once I started routing the bed stuff last night, it's all zip tied in place, so it's not going anywhere, but just a little bit chaotic. Maybe long term I'll end up doing something different, but honestly I don't know that I will. It's functional, it's not pretty, but I can fairly easily access everything that I need to access. So hey Armor, hope you have a great stream. Thank you so much, man, for the support. Cheers. Yeah, I'm getting ready to take off for a wedding here tomorrow, so it's just been kind of wrapping up things, and we have family coming here to watch Jackson and the dogs from out of state. So they're flying in today and tomorrow. So it's just, there's been a lot going on, but everything is going well. So today we are going to attempt to do a little bit of the gantry stuff. So let me pull up here. So yeah, gantry is where we're at, which is exciting. So build the X end stop is shown. So we need an X end stop, a 3D printed one. It says if your end stop mount has an oversized hole to please print the updated version. So I just saw that like 10 minutes ago. So I'm currently, I don't even know if the one I have isn't going to work, but I'm currently printing another one. It looks like the first or second layer is going down on the H2D, and it's got approximately, why is my screen not lighting up? We're already 47% done. So if there's an issue, I don't want to update firmware. Great. All right. If there's an issue, this will probably be done in like, I don't know, 10 minutes. So I did at least catch that. But let's see if it's even an issue. It might not be a problem at all. So this is the printed part. How's everybody else's week going? I'm not going to Rocky Mountain. No, I'm not traveling this year. I mean, I'm going to the wedding, my family's wedding this week, and then Lightburn has LBX going on in Manhattan in July, so I will be there very likely flying into Manhattan on that Thursday, and then the event I'll help basically set up Friday. The event will be on Saturday, Sunday, and then I'll likely fly home if I can get a flight fairly early on Monday. But yeah, with Aaron and the baby, I don't want to be gone more than I have to, so I'm not going anywhere. Nope, no 3D Printopia, no nothing, man. No events this year. Yeah, as much as I would like to. Oops, I just can't. Okay, so these look to be identical. The only thing I'm going to do really quickly is undo this little cable tie and make sure the length is the same. And if they are, then it doesn't matter which one I use, but I figured it's worth at least checking on this really quick here. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Believe me, like if I could, if they figure out teleportation by the time 3D Printopia rolls around, I'll gladly teleport there for some hours and hang out. But yeah, just the whole, the whole travel is just, it's too much this with everything going on. Okay, these appear to be identical, so it doesn't matter which of these we use. So we'll grab this guy. Plus you can avoid some of the crud con. Yeah, that's fair. The first time, I think I've gotten COVID twice now. But the first time I avoided it for like 3 years. And then the first event I went to, after not going to an event for a long time, was Murph back in 2025. So maybe it was 2022. And yeah, I didn't even make it out of the event without catching it. So, okay, so we got this, we've got that bracket, and it looks like we need M2.5 by 10 millimeter cap heads. So yeah, I hope everyone has a freaking blast. Like I said, I would love to be there to see, you know, viewers, other content creators, all the cool stuff that companies are working on. It's just unfortunately not in the cards. Yeah, family's got to come first, and Aaron's been doing a lot better, which is incredible news, but there's just, like, the baby is currently due September 7th. It was originally September 14th, and they said, oh no, we got the date wrong, it's September 7th. But she's at a higher risk of a preterm pregnancy because Jackson came 30 days early, so I have no idea. Like, basically when I get back from, sorry, trying to look at the right screws here. And 2.5 by 10. Once I get back from LBX, which is like mid to late July, I'm just gonna be in preparation for baby arrival mode. Yeah, I'm super excited to see what kind of cool stuff gets shown off there. Okay, so let's see. They said that there's possibly an issue with the holes being too large. So it looks like if I match orientation, the click should be going like this. So let's grab this, shove this through here. It doesn't feel like it's too tight. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's too loose, so let's see, maybe we got lucky. Yeah, it feels okay to me. Well, I guess I'll have extra printed end stops now in case we break something. I just figured since I saw the note, I should probably print them out in case we needed them. I didn't want this to stop us. Okay, that is in. It's probably plenty tight. We're just threading into plastic here, so I'm trying to just kind of hand tighten it. I mean, it's a limit switch, so obviously we don't want it to move. It needs to be repeatable, but it's also not going to be under any sort of crazy force. And then we need an M4 by 12. So M4 fasteners are right here. Hey, PC. M435, M410, M412. I don't think, if I remember correctly, none of the T-nuts are in here. They're all in maybe the fastener bag, is that right? Spacers and shims, that doesn't sound like the right bag. T-nut fasteners, here we go. Hey, my tech review, what's going on, buddy? Hey, Glock. Hope everybody's doing well. Okay, so this is going like that, and it looks like this is just going through the body of this, like that, and then we will thread this on a couple of times. Man, I set my alarm, I mentioned earlier, but for, I think it was 5:45 this morning, because I have the irrigation running pretty early, and figured I'd just go right back to sleep, but my body had other plans. Let's see, this should fit approximately 20 millimeters from the top extrusion. Okay, so this is going, it looks like, towards the, is it back left? No. The orientation of the printer confuses me. So bear with me here. So this is going, yeah, I think it's going right here. Let's see. No, so if I match orientation, oop, it is going like this. And this is going in. Dumb question. Is useful for anything? What does that mean? Are you planning to go to pretty... That's so funny. You just missed it. No, I don't think I'm going to any events this year, man. We've got a baby due September 7th, and it's been a pretty rough pregnancy, so we'll have, I think 3D Printopia is probably still... Wait, is it September? No, it's going to be like right when the baby's coming. Yeah, there's no way. It's even closer to... I forgot. It's even closer to the pregnancy date than I had realized. No, I'll be I'll be practicing juggling two children when 3D Printopia rolls around. So yeah, I'll be here. Okay, so this is saying we want about 20 millimeters from, let's see, this is roughly 19. Oh, there we go, right on the money. So let's start by installing this. Let's see, so this is going in like this. Yeah, I'll be busy, man. I just wouldn't feel right being like, hey, good luck, I'm taking off to go. I don't think my parents probably won't be back in town either, so it would literally just be Aaron. I don't remember which is the right driver for this. Is it this guy? Yeah, it's roughly that. Okay, so $20 millimeters. Approximately right about, oh, it's probably close enough, hopefully. What are we breaking today? Nothing, man. This is a new chapter, man. We don't break things anymore. No, nothing yet happened. Nothing yet. The goal is to keep it that way, but we'll see. Come in here with your jinxing. You're gonna jinx me now. All right, so let's. That should be plenty tight. Yeah, that's plenty tight. Okay, so we got our X. Hey, Lisa's in the house. How's it going? All right, that is there. Looks pretty good. Gantry motors. Fix onto the 4 LDO board. Okay, so we're doing motor. It's motor time. Oh. It is motor o'clock. Isn't that what we're here? I thought we were here for food talk. Is that not what we're here for? Food talk and decent jokes? Alright, so let's just start by taking out all the motors since we're doing the exact same thing for all of them. We'll just throw cables off to the side. Motor 1. Close this up. There's 1. Man, my thumb is hurting. It feels like I don't remember hitting my thumb on anything, but like the bone right here is just, it's been sore for days now. It's probably something with the stupid irrigation that I was doing that I, in the moment, didn't realize I had struck my thumb with something or hit it on something, I don't know. Cranky, you want to talk about banana pizza? I would try the banana pizza for you, Nappin. I would try it. I can't say I'd finish the slice, but I would be willing to try it. I think with me, like, I like bananas a lot. It's more the consistency, like the idea of it being kind of mushy. But if it was sort of like, I don't know, thin cut banana and had a little bit of crispness to it, kind of like how the pineapple gets, I think I could be okay with it. It's definitely not a flavor thing. It's more of a consistency thing. Okay, so we got 4 motors out. The next thing it wants us to do is put all the heat sinks on. So let's do that. I should probably... they look clean enough. I'll wipe them down. I'll do just a little thing of isopropyl. It's a common thing in Sweden. My mom has never once mentioned banana pizza in my life, and I'd like to think my mom is pretty dang Swedish. So, I don't know, man. Definitely not a thing they're having a lot in Gothenburg. Did you see my last video on the filter? The IKEA filter napkin? I did my best to pronounce it. I was like, my Swedish audience is watching, and if my family watches this, I better be pronouncing the filter correctly. I just posted a picture of the stealth burner I decorated in the Discord under the Not Shelf Your Project channel. I'll take a quick look. Let's see. Show off your projects. Oh, cool. I'll show that really quick. Here. Fancy. It's got a custom grill. Very hexagony. Very, very hexagony. All right, so we are going to be installing these. Let's place these all in the same orientation. I have not. I've been way too busy with other stuff. I get it. I get it. No worries, man. Some very sick people here. All right. Will we peel nicely, or are we going to take off the adhesive? It looks like... My stupid thumb. There we go. I have no idea what orientation it wants this to go. It looks like it kind of has this thicker side facing towards the plug, so we'll do this. Let's see. Okay. Hold this down for 10 seconds. And we're moving on. Probably should have put the top part on first, but that's okay. I'll just put this thing down. I don't want the heatsink to scratch up the paint. It's pretty sharp. All right, number 2. Just kind of eyeballing this. Okay. All right, moving on. Why not use a hobby knife for peeling those? Because Tuxedo, that makes way too much sense, man. That's why you're here. So you tell me I don't need to use my thumb. I can use something else. See how this goes. Look at that. Look at that. Genius. All right, stick it on. Oh, that's not nice, Hasios. That's not nice. All right. All right, all right, all right. Last one going on. I know. Feelings hurt, just like 2 points. 2 points of hurt still. I'm excited to see this project up and running. Next printer is this or a Trident with INDX when that comes out. Is there any info on... I've like loosely been keeping up on the Fontech thing. Like, I'm excited about it, but the things I don't know is if there's a rough ETA for launch, or I think I've heard pricing is supposed to be pretty inexpensive. I am very excited to see this up and running. What I'm curious about with that is what implementation is going to be like. That's really what I'm curious about. I'm going to be building that monster, the monster FISEC printer after this, and if that tool changer isn't too difficult to implement, I could see myself throwing some tool heads on that. I think IDEX could be more valuable on that, but okay, 250 for tool head and 30 per filament. That's it. That is wild. Hey, Tom Mama. More serious question: have your mother said anything about pizza salad? No, she is not. Hey, KR. So today's the day you'll finish it, right? Yes, Bearded. Not likely, man. You know what? Let's just throw. I've got this little rag. I'll throw this down, so that way the heat sinks are not on the paint, because I did scratch the back of it up, which I don't really know how. I've been quite careful, but apparently not careful enough. So at least it's just the back. I don't want to scratch up the top or the front of this thing. Okay, so we got our little dampeners. I haven't used these things in so long. I'm pretty sure that I had these running on my AM8 at one point. So, and then we're using M36 cap screws, M3 fasteners. And I said M36s, which are probably these little guys. Yep. I don't think I need to use, I could Loctite these, I suppose. There's no reason not to. Let's see, let me grab this little baggie, shake up our Loctite. Hey, Nice is in the house. What's going on, buddy? Then I claim your mother is not a real Swede. My mom is pretty Swedish, man. Pretty Swedish. When she was a teenager, she got picked to do the Santa Lucia, and she traveled around and was like singing at hospitals and I think on like radio and stuff like that. She's pretty Swedish, man. I've seen the sort of forest that she... Does it matter which... okay, it looks like one of these sides has no lip and the other side has a lip, and it looks like the lip is going upwards. So we will go like this, like that. Next time you talk to your mother, ask her about pizza salad. I will ask her. I'll see her. She'll be in Chicago, so I'll ask her. Hey, John. Hey, oh no, it's Mike. Okay, so let's go ahead and do these little dampeners. Okay. That is tight. That is tight. Never found those dampers do anything worth dealing with them. Yeah, I haven't exactly. I do think that they did help a little bit with noise, but it's been so long. Like the AM8, when I had them installed on them, would have been before I moved to Idaho. So it's probably about 4 years ago, and I didn't use that printer very much. By the time because like I had purchased all the stuff for that. Does it matter which? It doesn't look like. I had purchased all the stuff for that like 2 years in advance, and then projects kept happening, so it never happened. So by the time I actually got the AM8 done, it was so outdated that I basically used it for a little bit, and I think I either donated it or just scrapped it for parts or something like that. So I never really got a whole lot of use out of it. I mean, they include them, so I'm going to use them. Yeah, I've been using the H2D a lot, the non-laser version. That's really I'm interested, like the printer side of things. It's worked really well. I did all those PTG parts that you saw, in the filter video. This was one that I did. This was for the ad I did with Voxel PLA. This was actually the first print I did on the HTD, and it turned out really nice. The only issue is that I didn't have the purge set correctly for white, but I mean, it still did an awesome job. And then I've been using it a ton for irrigation stuff, which I'm sure doesn't come as a surprise to any, but I forgot to purchase stakes for the, so I'm using drip tube, but I'm also using, like, for potted stuff, I'm not using drip tube. I'm basically using, why can't I think of what they're called, but the little button drippers. And so I printed out a bunch of these, which have been awesome. It's basically modeled after a product that you can buy at the store. And oops, here we go. So the 1/4-inch tube slots down into the bottom one, which sort of wants to spread this apart. And then you just take this little cap here, and the cap goes over the top of it, like, oops, like this, bam, and it holds it together. So I've been printing out a bunch of these and staking them into any of the potted plants or the fruit trees and stuff like that that are in pots. And then the actual beds themselves just have drip line, which has half gallon per hour. I can't think of the freaking name for it, but basically spread across. So yeah, I've been just kind of throwing stuff at it. Eventually we'll do a video on it. Because I'm so late to the party when it comes to reviewing the HTD, I probably won't do an initial one because there's just so many. I'll probably do like a maybe 3 or 6 month. Here's some of the stuff I've done with it and my experience. I need to do more multicolor or multi-material stuff. But right now I'm just like, I'm just throwing, if I have a print I need for some sort of project, just throwing it at it. Okay, where did I put the Okay, everyone, this is a 2mm driver. I had a 2.5mm driver I was using just before I started ranting. Here it is, I found it. Yeah, it's been fun, Lisa. I also printed out a lot more simple thing, but it's basically just a 1/4-inch staple essentially, and it's just a hook. Basically, so like they sell, so it's similar to landscape staples. If anyone's ever seen those, they're for like the weed fabric, but those ones are typically, they rust. And so I purchased some galvanized ones, but they're so skinny that the soil I have is so fresh it's not sticking at all. So I 3D printed out some that are basically, it's a 1/4-inch hook on top that goes over the tubing, and then it just goes straight down. And on the bottom of it, it has like 3 teeth, and that's been helping keep those staples in place a bit better. So, I mean, something that you could easily buy, but they print so fast and it's so easy to batch them out that it's just nice not having to have a bunch of extras of them. Like, yeah, like last week's video, exactly. I still don't think the laser aspect of the KTD is a good idea, but printer looks good. I will never buy another bamboo though. Yeah, I get it. I'm not trying to sway anyone. I mean, whatever makes sense for everyone, that's the printer that you should buy. But I do agree that I have no interest in as someone that works for a laser company, I don't see the appeal in hybrid machines. I never have. I feel like that if you were going to combine something like throwing a laser head on a CNC, like a diode on a CNC, like maybe makes more sense. But from a 3D printer, it's just so much debris. And I'm usually trying to keep my 3D printers as dust-free and hair-free from pets as possible, that I don't see why you would want to introduce all the soot and stuff you'll get from laser. For the cost of HUD, I'd rather build another Trident IDEX. Yeah. I'm glad they exist. I think that it's a solid printer. It's working really well for me, but I get it. It's not for everyone, and that's fine. It's totally fine. I saw that open. If anyone didn't see that, if you need to buy any, I think it's all V-slot is what Steve said is what they sell, but if anyone needs extrusions for any sort of project, whether it's a printer or, I guess for maybe printers, I don't know how well it would work with the V-slot, but for like a desk or frame of sorts, they are basically doing like 40% off their entire website. But yeah, Open Builds is closing their doors, which is really sad. They've been around for a really long time, and while I haven't purchased much from them, I know a lot of people that have, so it's definitely a bummer. The laser is super sketchy to me because they market bamboo as a bedroom machine. VOCs for, yeah. It's pretty much every laser manufacturer. Okay, so we are, cool, so we're just bolting these. See the next step before installing the motors on the right side of the frame, okay. Mount the gantry motors as shown with M36. For easier installation of the enclosure panels, recommend pointing the motor connectors away from the side of the panels. Oh wait, away from the side of the printer. Okay, so that is going towards the printer. Okay, so we don't want them going in line with belts. Okay, so just to clarify this, I want to make sure everyone's understanding this. It says, for easier installation of the enclosure panels, we recommend pointing the motor connector ports away from the side of the printer. If this picture with no enclosure has them pointing towards it, are we thinking that the motor cables should be out this way? Or do we think that we can have the motor cables like at least facing like towards each other this way? Like, the only complaint I have is if they're facing out here, then they're really sticking out. I would think that having them like facing towards each other is probably going to be a safe bet. Hey, Jose. I'm thinking we probably just do the connections facing here and facing here, like towards each other. I think that's what I'm going to do. Which makes me think I'm probably going to have to... They're facing towards the inside. Yeah, the diagram shows that, but that's if you don't have an enclosure. It says not to do that if you have an enclosure, which we do. So if we have the enclosure panel right here, it's going to make it really difficult to access these. So I think that probably facing inward like this would give us the clearance we need. I think that's what we'll do. But I didn't realize that this mattered. So on the right, when installing it on the right side of the frame, ensure that the bolts are matching as shown. So let me see if any of these will work. Yeah, this one seems like it'll be okay. What about this one? Okay, so I do have to change up one of these. So this is the wait. Yeah, so for the front one, I need to rotate these. Yeah, I need to rotate this one. I wish I had seen that before, but it's not a big deal. Ah, man. Nice! Thank you so much for the gifted memberships, man. Cheers, buddy. Thank you, thank you. So is the ProForge just a DIY E3D tool changer? I don't know that because I don't know the E3D tool changer. I had looked at it for a while. I think they definitely, and don't quote me on this, but I think as far as the attaching and detaching aspect of it, there is certainly some similarity. I don't know if it's a copy, but a lot of the other stuff I think is quite different. Like the E3D tool changer, if I'm not mistaken, was intended to run on Duet. I think that the way that they calibrated offset was manual, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know for certain that that's exactly right. Okay, let's not have this fall. Yeah, thank you, nice. All right, let's back this on a little bit. So we've got one motor mount right here and here. You can kind of see my finger in the background. So I'm having it where the connection is facing, the motors are going to be having the connections facing towards each other. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's saying that on the right motors, at least, that, and I'm probably going to mirror it on both sides just for the sake of consistency, but it says that if you have the enclosure kit, which we do, that the right motors, wait, no, I'm sorry. For all of them, you want the cables not facing inward because you have the enclosure, but on the right side, the top screws need to be a certain way so that way they don't collide with the belt path. So for this one, we want inside, like the front one is inside left. So let's try to do that. Let's see. Why are we not lining up? There we go. ProForge just has some modern niceties. It's the same motion system as the E3D. Okay, got it. Okay, so I don't want to strip this dampener, but I also definitely want to make sure that these are nice and tight. Oops, let's not strip. Okay, that's probably plenty tight then. We'll just do musical chairs. All right. So then on this one, we want the motor facing inward like this, and it looks like, let's respect. Thank you so much for becoming a member, man. Cheers. Cheers to you. Okay, and this one, it looks like we want, yes, so outside. So front left, like if you're looking from the front of the machine, front left and no, front right, back left. Wow, directions are tricky. Yeah, I feel like with these dampeners, they're not exactly the thickest, so I want them tight because it's a motor, and obviously there's going to be the belt, the force of the belt on them, and I don't want them moving around, but I also want to be careful not to strip anything. We don't have spare dampeners, so if I mean, I could probably install without the dampeners, maybe, I don't know. That's not the goal. The goal is to not strip anything. Okay, that's plenty tight. Okay, that is plenty tight as well. So now on the other side, it shouldn't matter which screws we pick. It's starting to get a little heavy, a little more so awkward than heavy. It will get heavy once we have all the tool heads and stuff in place, but it's starting to get a little awkward. Okay, so I guess I don't really care so much if the screw holes match. The thing I care more about is that our orientation is correct. So this one will go like this with the plug facing towards where the other motor is going to be. Loctite and 3, yeah, that's the, that is the correct amount of Ugga-Duggas. I think Steve is on the road towards Rocky Mountain today. I think I talked to him yesterday. I think it was yesterday I talked to him, and he said he was heading out. So if you see Steve either walking around or at the, I'm assuming Voron's going to have a booth at this event, please tell him I say hello. If you cross-thread the screws, you don't need the Loctite. That is true. That is true. That is not the goal. No cross-threading, please. Okay, that's plenty tight. That is plenty tight. 6 Ugga-Duggas if you don't ever want it coming off. Dude, we never go 6 Ugga-Duggas. That's at least one too many. Okay, and this one is going opposite. I assume we're probably doing belts after this, or at least putting the X bar on. Okay. A little bit of Loctite. And we are in. Okay, it's plenty tight, I think. All right, look at that. We didn't even strip anything. Sorry, everybody. All right, here we go. So that is on. We did that correctly. So next, prepare for rail mounts is shown. And I'm assuming these are probably CNC. So I'm gonna move the Loctite off to the side because it's always dangerous having open Loctite. And let's see if we can find, probably in this bag of goodies here. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be these 4 blue guys. 4 blue guys. Throw all this back in the bag. Got our handy dandy dirty rag out. Hey, Ranch Kid. Let's throw trash on the ground. Bam, bam, and then we are using M5 by 10 millimeters for these. So let's try to find those. These are not block nuts. M5 16s. Cole will need 4 of these, so let's take out the 2 that are here. The rest of them, I'm assuming, have fallen out somewhere, so let's throw you on the ground. These are way too big. It said M5 10s, right? Yes. So 1, 2, 3. Those must have all fallen out as well. So there's number 4. And 4 of these. Okay. And this says prepare 4 of them. So we are just going to grab these, shove a screw through the wider opening, and twist on one of these nuts. That's probably plenty. There's 2. With how long these printer builds take, I wish they shipped the bolts in tackle boxes of sorts. Yeah, some do. That was one big thing, if I remember offhand, that Cyborg did that I really liked. I have my little 3D printed organizer that there's a bunch of remixes now. I know that, I think both Zombie, I know Zombie has a remix, but I think that maybe K2 Kevin does as well. But I had a little organizer that I started with the V0 many years ago that I organized everything and labeled it. I agree, it makes the process a lot smoother. Okay, so it says fix the rail brackets onto the 2 410 millimeter long rails. So we're gonna have to probably grease these rails because I've only greased the ones that we used. So let's see, we should have 2 rails that are longer. Yep, these guys are the long ones. I'm stepping on stuff. Got it. Okay, scissors. He's about to slide. Yes. Gotta have lots of nuts. Any plans for ever doing? Man, dude, I was supposed to build one of those a long time ago. I had talked to Fabrico about getting a kit in, and the last thing was that we had agreed on doing one last July, and it just never happened. And then sort of other builds happened, and I haven't really talked to Hector much actually since 3D Printopia of last year. I don't think so. Never say never. I would like to build one. I think that they're it's a pretty sweet looking printer, but will it happen? I don't know. But never say never. All the grease. It's 70s dance music. I'm probably gonna put a glove on and just take that excess bit of grease and rub it on the rail. I did check, these didn't have any ports on the side, so you either take the rails off or just squirt a bunch of grease in with brute force from the back. So for the sake of time, this is a lot quicker. Probably not quite as good of a method. I did do the remove block quite a few times, but I've also had a few experiences where I've almost lost a couple balls, and it's painful. So grabbing some gloves, everyone. At least a glove. Just do a single glove. We'll do our single glove. My poor thumb. It's like, ah. I'm just stoked for Murph next month. Oh, you're going to like OG Murph in Goshen? That's the one I've been to the most. I really enjoy it. Grease these bad boys up. Let's get that grease out of that hole. I'm probably just gonna use, do I have, am I out of Q-tips? No, we got 2 Q-tips left. That is perfect. Let's go ahead and shove this Q-tip here. Just drop the grease on the side and I'll rub it in. Let's do the same on this one. Okay, I don't want to throw this on the ground. We'll put this over here with the Loctite for now. It's only 15 minutes? Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Doctor said I can go. Will be my first one. Nice. Correct moves. You guys. You guys. All right. Grease lightning. We're good. It means I'll get grease all over me. So the gloves are kind of pointless, especially because I'm greasing the whole rails. But I like to make sure there's at least some grease on the rail for the sake of not accidentally rusting. I don't know. I'm assuming these are just steel and not. Oh, what's the rails that? What are the rails the LDO uses that don't rust? The thing I don't like about regular swabs is they tend to have leave lint on parts. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I probably could get some nicer ones that aren't just regular ear ones. Okay, so, oops. So we are going to be taking more M36 cap heads. Okay, and we're just gonna basically do this. So take out our Loctite again. Probably need to squeeze out a little bit more. Hey, Greenbeard! Use a magnet to check. You know what? I don't have a magnet accessible right now. Unfortunately, the KB3D driver that I always use for checking things, it flew out of my hand the other day and flew behind my, it's here. It flew behind this bench. So I have no, that's its new home now. So I'll have to, maybe I'll hit up KB3D and see if I can get another one, because I really like that. It's always right here, but I've got magnets around somewhere in drawers. I just don't know exactly where, but that's usually my little checking mechanism for steel. Okay, so for this we are doing, it looks like 4th hole. So, am I right? 1, yes, 2, 3, 4. So let's get, and we're doing what was it, M36s? We're getting low on these. Hopefully there's a bunch more somewhere that I just maybe misplaced. Let's see, I've only got 3 right here. So is there more in an M3 bag? Oh yeah. Yeah. We've dropped quite a few, it looks like. Need some DLC coated rails in the market. I feel like they'd be really expensive though. Maybe not. I don't know how much the process costs. What does E3, not E3D, what does LDO use? They have something, a coating on their rails, right? I feel like I've heard that said multiple times. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of do this loose for now. Since we've been talking about don't forget to like. Yes. Thank you, Hasio. Yeah, if you have not hit the like button, it takes 2 seconds, and you get my deepest appreciation. Okay, so yeah, these are just loose right now, loose-ish. They're really expensive, says the guy building a $2,000 printer. Yeah, but this printer is for like a very specific like build and use case, right? Being a tool changer. I'm talking about like it has to make enough sense for them to want to produce them, that there's a big enough audience that's actually going to purchase them. The nice thing about this printer for Makertech is that they don't actually have to manufacture a ton of stuff. Like, yeah, there's custom parts, sure, there's quite a bit of CNC anodized stuff, but a lot of the parts are just like kind of off-the-shelf components from other manufacturers, like the main board, the motors are LDO motors. These are pretty standard dampeners, pretty standard. Like, you know, a lot of this stuff is not having to be custom made. While for the DLC coding stuff, if there's not enough buyers, you know, I don't know that it would make sense for the manufacturer to do it. Sorry to hear about open bills. Just ordered a few things for the shop, including a nice table. Oh, you bought a full table, John? I talked to Steve last night because I was like, I need to still mount a ceiling camera in here, and my initial thought was I would get some kind of an extrusion that I could have the camera at some point mounted on wheels, where if I needed to slide it just a little bit, you know, left or right to get whatever centered in focus, I could do that. But I don't have the time right now, or I just don't have the time right now, and I don't know if I want to just buy the extrusions, although they're a good deal. But I didn't realize that they actually sell full tables, if that's what you're saying. You can find a local DLC coder. Gotcha. Are LDO rails Teflon coated? I don't think it's Teflon coated. Dang, so you are getting a bunch of extrusions. Check out the tables. Okay, I'll take a look. Yeah, I was looking last night at like 40/40s, and I was like, it's such a good deal. But I am the worst at that, at getting a thing with the intent of doing a future project, and then they collect dust for like forever. I have so many things I've purchased that I had the intent of using for a project, and then the day has not come. So that's my concern with buying the extrusions or not buying the extrusions, is that will I actually, you know, end up using them. Let's see, mount the rails onto the inside of the top frame as shown. There should be equal distance between the edge of the rails and the frame, around 30 millimeters. Interesting. So oh, my body. Various sizes of the open build modular table series. Okay, I'll take a look. I don't know that I'll get anything. Or kind of a lot of random expenses right now. We've been saving up for a bigger car. We have a 2014 Corolla that we share. That was my car that's paid off, but we need something bigger, especially with a second baby on the way, and we want to be able to go camping and stuff. And the Corolla's been incredible, but it's we need something bigger. Okay, so it looks like this is with the extrusion just facing downward. And we are going to... Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of loosely align these right now. Maybe we don't have to align the rail because it will automatically align it. But we do need to figure out what's approximately 30 millimeters. So let's see. I guess if I just take this guy And move you to 30 millimeters. That's roughly 30.03. Why are we not moving? Why are we not moving? I didn't tighten these that tight, did I? Okay, that seems about right. Let's see, we'll tighten this down and see how far off we are. I'm gonna tighten this so that way I'm pushing downward and inward, because there's a tiny bit of play. So let's go loosen this guy up a hair. Okay. Let's see now if we're approximately right. That seems pretty close. Like we might be, I think that's good enough. I'm not gonna worry too much about that. Yeah, car. Table is important, but I do have tables, you know, like they could be nicer, but yeah, the car is, we've told Aaron for years that we would eventually get sort of the mommy car. So just the cars are super expensive, and because we haven't gotten a car in over a decade, we're looking at getting a new car, which is, it's like the worst time to buy a new car right now. So we'll see how it all goes. We've been saving for some years, so we're really close to basically getting the car. Get a Subaru Legacy, can't go wrong. Yeah, my parents both have Subarus and they're really popular here, but Aaron really wants a third row, and Subaru doesn't make them except for a new model that just came out, but there's like no track record. So the car we're probably gonna end up getting, unless she ends up hating it, but when my Corolla had a recall for paint, so we had a rental car for quite a long time because the body shops were so backed up here, is a Highlander. She really likes the Highlander, and it seems to check all the boxes for kind of what we need or want. I had a minivan growing up. The biggest issue with that is, for the sake of camping and stuff, we want something with all-wheel drive. Since we're in Idaho, we do get snow, and some of the places we'd want to go, you need something that's got a bit of all-terrain element to it. The Highlander seems like a pretty good middle ground between, you know, fairly good on fuel efficiency and surface streets, as well as going into the little uncharted territory. Okay, so we got one rail in. Just rinse and repeat what we just did. Yeah, I'm a big Toyota. I mean, I like Subarus a lot as well, actually, but my family outside of Subaru has always been kind of a Toyota family. Funny enough, my dad still has it. My dad has a Corolla, my brother has a Corolla, and I have a Corolla. And my dad's, hold on, let me focus a little bit on what I'm doing real quick, and then I'll talk a little bit about cars. But yeah, my dad, his Corolla hit like, I want to say it was 400. I want to say it was like is this still loose? No. I want to say it hit like somewhere between 450 and 500,000 miles on the original motor and original transmission, with no big work other than regular stuff like, you know, regular maintenance and oil changes and whatnot. So we've got a lot of trust in that vehicle, and he liked that thing so much as his commuter, because he drove a lot of miles when he retired now, but excuse me, before he retired, he would drive a lot of miles for work in California, and he went and found the exact same. Oh, this needs to be centered as well, doesn't it? And we probably shouldn't be compressing that. So he went and found the exact same Corolla and exact same color on like the same lot. Like, I mean, it wasn't the same lot. It was you know, basically from the same lot and year, and purchased that when his original one died. So he has that still. And I actually used it when I visited friends in California last year for a wedding. Or no, it was last July. I think I was just going out to hang out with some friends, but I used it and it works fine. Like, it's not the prettiest. It's, you know, California roads as far as hitting stuff, and there's just the freeways are kind of gross. But as far as functionality goes, it worked really well. Okay, so let's tighten this down like this. There is some left and right play on this, which I don't love. I'm curious to see how that's all gonna pan out. I wonder if I'll have to, well, maybe once we put the gantry on, I'll have to loosen up the linear rail bolts so that way it can sort of just align itself. But, because there's, like, if you look at this, can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. There's some wobble there. I find 1 to 2 year old leases returns are a good deal versus new. Yeah, we potentially could do that. The issue I was having, so I had told Erin we'd get a new car because she's never had a new car, and I've only had one, the Corolla, but I've had a few used cars prior to that, and even with like Carfax reports and stuff, I didn't have the best luck with them, so I'm not super keen on them. But we were looking just for fun to see if there were Highlanders that were, you know, used that didn't have high mileage and stuff like that, and all the ones we were finding were ones that were used for like rideshare stuff. So they were pretty new, but with high mileage on them. And I have concerns about like people that were using them for Uber and Lyft and stuff like that, like how they were just abused, you know? But yeah, I agree. If you can find a lease, like a lease that was just used for a couple of years and returned, or, you know, brought back to the dealership, that seems like a pretty sweet way to go. I think I'd be more inclined to try something like that. So we'll see. Okay, so I am gonna tighten this down, but someone remind me that if I notice that there's binding on this axis, that I probably need to loosen these 2 screws. It's only held in place in 2 spots. So that way, which is really not a lot of attachment points. It's the least I think I've ever done on a printer, but I probably need to loosen these 2 points and just slide the extrusion back and forth. Maybe like one side, tighten it a little bit, slide it back, tighten it a little bit, and then kind of do that a couple times. Because there was a little bit of play, so I could see that leading to some binding. For your family, no business cars. Yeah. Quebec highways, we have potholes. Oh, geez. Is that bad? What's a soarer? That must be, we don't have that in the States, I don't think. I've never heard of it. I'm pretty familiar with Toyotas. Yeah, in California, like, so at least where I lived, the weather wasn't the issue. Like here we have more like, the issue could be not where we're at per se, but if you go even just an hour north, there's a lot of snow. But we have a lot of like salt on the roads that, you know, from them putting salt on the roads for the ice, so that can wear down cars and cause rusting and stuff like that. But in California, the main issue was there's just so many vehicles that there's just stuff all over the roads. Like I remember my second vehicle was a Honda Civic. And I remember driving home late one night on the freeway, and out of nowhere, there's just a tire in my lane. And I had a lot of distance. I don't even think there was cars in front of me, but it was so low, the highway was so dark, I couldn't see it, and it just shredded the underside of my car. And then I've seen all sorts of ladders in lanes. I've seen wood pallets in lanes. There's just crap everywhere, like debris and stuff flying off of vehicles, so. The Toyota is the Japanese version of the Lex. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a cool car then. Yeah, there's the roads here. They just, I mean, not here. Here's a lot better. But in California, because of how many people there are, they just, I think Caltrans is usually the one that, like, Caltrans is the, like, I think they're a government agency that would be in charge of picking up stuff off the roads. And there's just not enough workers and too much stuff on the roads. And then I think Highway Patrol, I called Highway Patrol a couple times when we were driving down from, I remember one time I was driving down from the mountains where my parents lived, and I think it's a 4-lane, 2 in each direction. It might be a 1-lane. It splits into 1 lane at one point, but I think this is the point where it's a 2-lane, and there's just a massive 2x4 laying across the lanes. So I called Highway Patrol right away just to report it, because I'm like, dude, if someone hits that, like, I mean, one, it could jack up their car, but if it kicks the 2x4 up in the air, like that could take someone out. So, all right, so we've got the rails in place. Mount the rails. Let's see. Mount the rails onto the inside of the top frame as shown, which we did. 30 millimeters approximate, which is what we did. Install the gantry. Ah, Jackson! Hey, big guy. Do you want to sit in the stool for a sec? Yeah. Where's mommy? She's not coming. You just woke up and came up here. Come here, big guy. What is that? Oh, glove. You gonna show off what you found? Come here. No, that's just trash. Oh, it's stuck to your foot. Come here, buddy. Just leave it. It's okay. Leave it on the ground. Daddy will clean it up. Put it on the ground. It's okay. Did you just wake up and came up here? Oh. Look, show them what you found, Jack. What did you find on the ground? What's in your hand? Show them. What is that? Is that Daddy's grease glove? Troy says hi. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. Is this Daddy's glove? Yeah. I was greasing the rails. Daddy's Allen keys. Did you have a good... This goes over there, huh? Yeah. Did you have a good nap? Are you super excited to see your Auntie Cece and your cousin in a little bit when they fly in? Oh, scissors. That is her daddy. Thank you so much. Well, I'm glad you had a good nap. What's on your shirt? Are those skateboards? Is that the... What color is that? Blue. It is blue. Uh-huh. Are you going swimming today? Yeah. Yeah, he's got sweat curls. Well, he has curls in general, but he's been sweaty child lately, huh? You've been sweating while you sleep. Huh? Is that Daddy's driver? Hey, can you say Fabrico? It's a nice try. I actually do need that part. This is the part Daddy needs next. Thank you so much. We'll put this right here. Daddy's gonna need that in a minute. That's, yeah, this is what Daddy's looking at. That's so he can build this thing. Huh? Yeah, that's calipers. We can measure, you can measure things. Look it, ready? If you go like this, see, look, it's got that, so you can take this and you can see, let's see. Looks like 3.14, that's pi. Yeah, it's numbers. It measures. Uh-oh, you reset it. That's okay. Okay, well, Daddy's got to get to work, buddy, because your Auntie Cece and your cousin are coming over shortly here. So Daddy's got to stop the stream pretty soon. Yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'll put this right here. Okay, can you say bye, bye, everybody? Say woohoo. Say wave. Woohoo. Bye, everybody. Thank you for saying hello. That was a nice surprise. You can take the box. That's fine. That one's trash. Put that one in the trash. Look at trash is right here by Monkey. Right there. See it? Throw in the trash, please. Daddy meant to clean that up, but he was gonna wait till after the stream. There you go. You'll take one box. Okay. One box. All right. That's so funny. That's the first time that he's done that. Usually when he wakes up from a nap, he goes and finds Aaron, and then, you know, like they come up, but he woke up from his nap and the door was closed, but he just walked up the stairs and decided to come on in. So, okay, so it looks like this next part, we're going to be installing this. So something tells me that once I install this onto the linear blocks, or the linear rail, the bearing blocks, then I should be able to slide it back and forth and see whether we have binding, which I anticipate we will have some binding, just because I didn't do any alignment, and we did have some left and right play. So I know there's going to be 2 mini mod bots at some point here. I can't even say Fabrico. His hair is not green, I promise. Yeah, his 1-year-old cousin's coming over today. They're flying in from Arizona. They actually landed an hour ago, so they're I imagine they've deboarded, and then they're getting a rental car. And then tomorrow, Gigi and Grandpa, so Aaron's parents, are coming in. So we won't see them tomorrow, though. Our flight is like an hour after they land, so we'll be at the airport, and then they'll be here, and then when we get back, we'll have like 2 days together. So, okay. So let's go ahead and install this. it looks like with the front of the machine, so our orientation is backwards. Let's match orientation for the sake of my sanity. Oh, I really don't like those rail mounts. They look like an afterthought. Yeah, they're interesting. They're, oh, what did I just drop? What did I just drop? Okay, it was just a power supply, not the camera. They're interesting. I'm not gonna like, I mean, yes, the initial glance at them is like, I don't know how I feel about that, but if they work fine, I don't really have anything bad to say about them, but they're certainly not super conventional. So let's go ahead and find our fasteners, and these ones are saying we need M3/8, so a little bit larger. Are these M3/8s? They're also spilled out everywhere. Of course they are. We need 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, so we need a couple more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, that's 6. Let me grab my little metric measuring tool. I'm sure these are probably 8s as well. Let's see, 1 here and 1 here. Windows 10. Yeah, I haven't updated, man. This computer has just worked for so long that I'm like, I'm not. Wait, did I say? I said 8s, right? 8s are what we need. M3/8s. Yeah, these are all right. Okay, let's put our Loctite back out. I moved it away because Jack and Loctite is dangerous. Hey, Kegel. Date weekend? Well, kind of. We're sharing an Airbnb with my parents, so they're gonna pick us up from the airport. I'll just give you the lowdown. So our flight takes off tomorrow afternoon, and then we fly to Phoenix, and then we have a connecting flight from Phoenix to somewhere in Chicago. I don't remember which of the 2 big airports. I think we get into Chicago around midnight or 1 in the morning. So my dad's gonna pick us up, or my mom, probably my dad, and then take us back to the Airbnb. And then there was, I think some of the people from the wedding party are going to the, is it the Cubs game? Like the baseball game in Chicago, but we weren't sure if we were gonna have energy, so we're just gonna lay low. But I think Aaron and me are gonna go out and walk around and have lunch somewhere in Chicago. And then that night, we're doing pizza at my cousin's house, who's the one that is getting married. Technically, she's married. She got married at a small little like intimate getaway thing. It's more of a reception. So we're going over there, and then Saturday is just photos and then the event. And then once the event ends, they're going to a barcade, which I love barcades. And then Sunday I fly back. So it's gonna be a really quick, really quick thing here. So the thing I wanna make sure I'm doing correctly here is the orientation of this. Okay, so this one has a notch, and it looks like the notch is on this side. So this looks correct to me. I think we're doing this right. So we're gonna go like this. Head up to beautiful Wisconsin. We won't have time. It's just not enough time. I get back at like, I think I get back Monday, like Sunday night, midnight, or Monday morning, midnight. And I have light burn work that day, and then I have got to edit videos. And so, yeah, I can't. My dream, I'm gonna try to take a vacation next summer. We've never gone on a vacation, Aaron and I. We never did a honeymoon. We never did any of that. So I'm hoping that next year we can plan something. So we'll see. We shall see. Okay, so this looks like we're just basically going through this bracket and into the block. So let's just start by loosely fitting all these. Is it done? No. I did get the bed done. Oh, shit. No. 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 Loctite on the carpet. Hold on. This light carpet. Let's grab you. Let's grab a dab of some isopropyl. I'm going to see if I can find the other driver. I shouldn't be using a ball driver for this upside down work. It's too loose. Where's the blue spot? There it is. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so let's find the 2.5mm driver. It has to be here somewhere. Let's see. Jackson came up here. I started moving stuff around. We got gloves. Here they are. Here it is. Okay. Let's
try that again. The carpet can have a little Loctite. Family vacation can be the best. Yeah, I figure by that point, Jack will be 3, and new baby, well, new baby won't be 1 yet, so that could be a little bit interesting. But yeah, I would really like to. I mean, you know what, Aaron and I okay, there's a little bit. We did get to go to China, so that was a pretty awesome thing. Granted, it was partially work. It was when I did the tour of Vegas. So there was definitely work involved with it, and it was a work trip, but we did have some downtime and got to explore a little bit. So that was really fun. So I take back what I said. We haven't done no travel, but that's the exception of it. I'd like to go somewhere like with the intent of this is just a vacation. We're gonna just kind of do what we want. Okay, I might actually need to use the ball driver because this is kind of an awkward angle. Yeah, I don't think I can get that to align otherwise. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Well, we're not binding yet, but everything's still so loose it doesn't really matter. Beach time, yeah. Can we re-lube the rails? I don't think you got them good properly. No. No more lube. We've reached our stream lube capacity, unfortunately. Oh no, no, no! Gravity, man. All right, let's try this one. I might be able to reach straight on. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, so I can reach the inner ones. I just, for the outer one, need to use the ball driver. Yeah, beach should be cool. So funny. Jackson has learned how to say monkey, which is one of our dogs, but he says it with such an accent. He says, monkey, monkey. I'm like, why are you saying it like that? Monkey.
For the Giving Thanks for Negative Test Results Fund.
For giving thanks for negative test results fund. Wait, negative what? Test. COVID test or something like that, Andrew? Thank you so much for the donation, man. For the giving thanks for negative test. I'm assuming it's, did you take a COVID test? Are you traveling? Are you going to Rocky Mountain? Is that what's going on? I need more info, man. I need more info. Okay, so those are all in. They're all still loose, which is fine. Let's switch back over to this side. Oh, moving this thing is not the worst, but it's also not incredibly fun. Covis. You meant to say COVID, but you said Covis, and I goofily did not correct it. Okay, COVID flu. Nice. Okay, that is fantastic news. We will do an air horn to that. Are you traveling? Are you going to Rocky Mountain, Andrew? I feel like I've asked you this, but I could be wrong. I don't remember if I asked you that or not. Woke up Monday. Oh, with a cough. Thought I'd have. Oh, okay. So you're going to Rocky Mountain. Nice. Okay. Well, I'm happy to hear it, man. Because didn't you get? I feel like you got sick for one of the events. Was it last year, maybe? I know you were getting over being sick at one of the events. Delilah. I can't wait to see how they instruct you to calibrate this machine. I wrote the calibration instructions for one of the Voron tool changers, and it came out to 29 pages of text. Oh, nice, Vinny. Yeah, I'm also, it's one thing to build the machine, like do all the mechanical stuff and electrical stuff, and the firmware and calibration is a whole other beast. I've talked about documentation and how much I work at Lightburn, like that's my full-time job, and my team, I work on the content team. I don't feel any binding at all, actually. I work on the content team, and I'm pretty much the only, I'm the only person that's exclusively videos. As of right now, for the years I've been there, I don't do documentation, but most of my team is documentation. And I have so much respect for the amount of work that goes into docs, like good docs, good proper documentation. It is a beast. So.
Delilah, you licking yourself is incredibly distracting, sweet girl. It is the most distracting thing right now. Okay, so I'm not gonna even... That feels like... I'm starting to feel like we might be binding a little bit, so... Which I suspected. We're very likely going to have to loosen the 2 rail points, so that way this can sort of align itself. And I cannot reach the inner screws without using a ball driver, so we will be ball driving it up. Okay, I think this is the last one, maybe? Nope, it is this one. Okay. Yeah, it feels like that probably should be a bit smoother. So let me go ahead and fully tighten this down. I'm just going to use a little Allen key to do this. Give everything like another quarter turn, if even that, not even a quarter turn, just a little finger action. Amen. And for me, great software testers too. Yeah. Sort of the like the what's the word? Like the hidden heroes or the silent heroes. I don't know. I think you get what I'm saying, but like it makes a huge amount of difference, but they're kind of in the background. Man, this is an awkward angle. Okay, I feel like that's pretty tight. Documentation is definitely an area where I struggle. Yeah. It seems like my chronic bronchitis always seems to flare up right before I'm supposed to leave for rocking. Oh no. Do you have it again? Well, you did say right now you weren't feeling good. You had a cough. Yeah, this feels, there's definitely, I don't know if I'd say binding, but it's not as smooth as I'd like. So I think that the likelihood is that these, let's see if I loosen, holy crap, I tightened those, didn't I? Let's loosen this. Wow, okay. Yeah, there was a little bit of play in these, so I'm hoping just by kind of going back and forth, we can sort of force these into alignment. Do I need to, yeah, we should start by loosening all of them, shouldn't we? Sorry, I realize you're getting probably more of the back of my head than you bargained for. There we go. Okay, so there's a little bit of play there now, a little bit of play there. It's still... It doesn't really feel like that did a whole lot. Maybe that's just the way it is. I mean, it's not awful. Like, I don't really feel any crazy stopping spots, so maybe it's fine. Maybe once we've got a belt, I mean, we've got 4 motors driving this thing. Unsung heroes, that's, thank you. Thank you, Mike. That's what I was going for. Yeah, they're definitely unsung heroes. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna call this good enough because it doesn't feel like it's doing much. I don't want to loosen the mounting points because I feel like I did those all pretty evenly. I don't think that would be affecting this. So we'll just leave this like this. And hope that once we're all up and running, everything's fine. Also, it could be that the, it could be a little bit of the grease still needing to be worked in that I added on here. Would feel better with more lube. More lube is not always the answer. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and let's tighten these back up for now. It's luckily this is fairly easy to fairly easily accessible. Words are a little tricky for me today apparently. So if need be, we'll just revisit this, but I don't want to dwell too much on a problem that might not be a problem. The mechanical XY build feels weird to me when you see how much they worked on the Z-axis. I'm curious to see, because this is not, I mean, this is the ProForge 300, but they have quite a few other ProForges. I'm curious to know how the other ones are. If the X and Y is very similar to this. It definitely feels a little bit tighter than I'm used to, but it might be fine. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, so. That's what more cowbells. More cowbells is always the answer. That's one you will not hear any arguing from me about. All right, so let's move this guy all the way to here. Nope, can't do that far because I don't have access to it. So we'll go here. I'll snug this up. Oh, you know what? I can do this with. We'll just straight up do this. Maybe. Where is the hole? There we go. I don't think I can do that on the other side though, because I have that crossbar. So I'm gonna just leave you guys here. I'm gonna walk around. You know what I'm doing. There's no, oh geez. Oh my God. I almost took you with me. All right, let's just snug this up. I don't really know that me taking this apart and doing this made much of a difference. I was expecting like a drastic, oh wow, it's just so frictionless. Oh God, no, let's not strip the screw. Yeah, that's plenty tight. Yeah, that doesn't feel great to me. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't feel. But I don't feel binding. And once I put some weight on it, like if I push down and give it a little bit of weight, it does feel a bit smoother. So I don't know, we're leaving it. We're just moving forward. I've done that plenty of times on builds where I'm like over-analyzing a thing and it's not a problem. So let's just keep on going, everybody. Keep on swimming, keep on swimming. All right, rail alignment check. When the gantry is slid all the way to the right, it should bump the end stop as shown. Remove the orange stopper to achieve this. Okay. Sure seems like we're hitting it. Yeah, and we hit it before the block goes off the rail, so I feel like our alignment's decent. Okay, all right. Okay, that seems fine. Oh, the rail carriage should be on the edge of the rail but not fall off. Yep, make adjustments, cool. Alrighty then. Mount the final rail. All right, we are greasing again, I guess. I should have planned for that. All right, well, you've got your wish, greasers. Let me grab another of my doctor gloves. Doctor gloves, need my doctor gloves. Alrighty. And we're back. The CS glove. Get another camera angle. Guys, I'm gonna have to start greasing off stream. You guys got me blushing on camera. Ay, ay, ay. This is a family stream, y'all. All right. There we go. Well, this one feels super, like there's no preload on that guy. I think I need to pack this a little bit more. Let's see. Oh my God. All right, well, I think that probably... Jeez Louise. I think I need to refill the grease. We might be out of grease. I'm gonna try to push it one more time. But I have a feeling that we might have used up all the grease. Definitely as far as it's going. Oh, there we go. Got a little bit to pop through, so we are going to just work with what we got since this is the last rail. All right, all right. Definitely not as much grease. There's still quite a bit though. Let me grab the last swab. Glad I didn't use both. Okay. I always think it's a good idea to add some grease. Who knows like what was used at factory or what wasn't used. And then I like putting a little bit on the rail itself just so that way, I mean, I should have probably used some isopropyl on the rail first to clean off any sort of packing stuff, but I didn't really see much on there, so. Alrighty. So the rail should have its mounting holes start 15 millimeters from both ends. Okay, let's see if I can get you guys up high enough. I think I can. This printer is tall, but it's not too tall. Wow, it's like just too tall. I guess I can put you guys up on spool boxes. We've done that before. I'm just gonna do single spool boxes, so hopefully that's tall enough so that we can get a visual. Let's not hit the camera lens. Oh, we're getting really close to hitting the camera lens. Oh my God. Oh, hold on, y'all. This is really like encouraging me to get that overhead camera installed so I don't have to keep doing some MacGyver stuff like this every time there's a tall printer. Okay, here we go. There we go. It's still not great. Why are we still so crooked? Okay, that's as tall as I'm getting you all. So hopefully that works. Can we see this? Yes, we can. Yeah, overhead creasing angles. All right, here we go. So this is going like this. Let's see if we enter. Looks like that's probably how we want it. Third hole. And these are M3/8s, which I know I've got more of. Oh, where are my M3s? Those are M5s, these are M4s, these are M3s. We need 4 of them. Just dump these out. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Only 46. Yeah, hit the like button, please. Hit the like button for, well, if it's, hit the like button for tool changers. I haven't checked in on, oh wow, we have 110 people here. That's awesome. I wasn't sure how today was going to be just because it's so close to Rocky On. But yeah, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. I'll get the giveaway opened up in 20 minutes here. Okay, let's go ahead and get these rails installed. We do need, it looks like, some more Loctite yet again. It's just a piece of wire. No like, no entry. I won't gatekeep that hard, but definitely would be. It just takes 1 second. All right. Okay, I'm gonna loosely just fit these for right now. Oh. Okay, I have no idea where the next hole is, so I guess I can probably feel. Okay, right there. So it looks like 4 further. We need to at least get to the nice likes. I know exactly what you mean. The nice like. All right, there's that one. Back it out a little bit. It's already plenty loose. Okay. Uno mas. I'd accept the Emperor's Order of Likes too. I hit it several times. Does that help? Yes, thank you, John. It's the thought that counts. To me, at least. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna have to use the Allen key. Just my thumb, man. My thumb is hurting. I would love to know. I wish I could go back in time and see what it was that I did that screwed up the bone. It's like right here on the bone. It's just feels bruised. I don't remember stubbing it. I don't know what the heck I did. Okay, that's plenty tight, I think. Dude, we are making some progress, y'all. I am very excited. I mean, we've got the bed's done, and now we've got all of our rails installed. So I imagine it's probably belts next, which is my absolute nightmare. For some reason, belts always seem to struggle with the belts, but once belts are done, it should be tool head. Yeah, I think part of the reason why it's having a little bit is that grease I added. I think once it works in, it'll be smoother, but once you have weight on this too, well, I don't want to bend that. That does have flex. It definitely has some flex. Just imagine Daniel is a big puppy. That ought to draw a few thousand extra likes. Thank you. Thank you for that. The rail should have its mount holes start 15 millimeters from both ends. What does that mean? I don't understand that. I centered it. What? Yeah, I did it right. I don't know what the... Oh, 50. Oh, I get it. Okay. Got it. This is just, okay. Because this size rail is the same size rail as the 3 Z motors, but the main difference is that for the Z motors, if we look, or I'm sorry, Z motors, Z axes, if we can see this kind of, wait, no, you can't see that. You can see it. The top of this orange guy is like right at the end, while this one is 15 millimeters away. So it's basically just saying that, hey, like if you've screwed up until this point, because it already did tell us like which rails to use, they're like, hey, if you have one that doesn't have the orange stops 15 millimeters away, then you've done something incorrectly. So that's all it is. That's all it is. Okay. Sweet, dude. We're getting straight into installing the tool carriage. This is very exciting. Front of the machine is facing this way, so cool. Sweet, yeah, once we get the giveaway open in 15 minutes, I'll have it open for half an hour, and then we might end up calling it there, which should be kind of 30 minutes earlier. I'm anticipating my sister-in-law will be here soon, and I want to give her a hug and help her get settled in, so. All right, so this guy is going like this. side view. Try to get this back in focus for everyone. There we go. So this is just gonna sit right there, dangling right now. And then we need M36s. Which are where? M3, here we go. Okay, you look like an M36. You are not. You are an M36. You are also an M36. And you are all too big. You are all M38s. Come on, there's got to be one more in here somewhere. Is this an M36? Got it. Perfect. Alright, okay. Alright, okay. Here we go. I feel like she's got to be here pretty soon. I think I'm going to just open up the giveaway because something tells me that she's probably going to be here sooner than later. Yeah, I'm going to get the giveaway link open for everybody. Alright. Anyone else seeing an Imperial shuttle? Okay, form for our giveaway is officially in chat. Pin message. Greetings, fellow nerds. Thank you to whoever gave me a membership. It was probably nice. I think it was probably nice that gave you the gift of membership. All right, giveaway link is pinned. Oh, is she here? Oh, she is here. That's a nice rental. Okay, so yeah, we'll do the giveaway in roughly 25-30 minutes, and then I'm gonna hop off so I can spend a little time with family since we are flying out tomorrow. Oh. There we go. Hey, Dans. Delilah's gonna go crazy in a second too, so just be warned, everybody. I do have the filter on, so it'll probably muffle it out a little bit, but you might hear some dog. You might hear some dog barking, because if she hears the door open and someone else, she's gonna go buck wild. All right. Well, I don't really have to worry about breaking parts by over tightening today because I just don't have the physical strength in my hands to tighten things enough. No family only stream. All right. That feels nice. Very nice. Okay, we got 59 likes and 34 entries. Well, at least the entries haven't lapsed the likes. Okay, so that's in place. Next up, we've got this guy. Take extra care with tightening not to strip the aluminum threads of this carriage. Is this? Oh, interesting. So these are big standoffs. Where is that piece? Here it is. Cool, so we're actually installing the big tool changer piece. I messed up my new Sobel 0 by updating things I shouldn't have. Oh no, now the host doesn't see the StreamMSU. Now it's an expensive paperweight. I'm sure that Sobel will give you the files you need to reflash it. That sucks though. That really sucks. I did some updating last night at like 12 o'clock before I went to bed, and currently also have a printer in a similar state if it makes you feel any better. I was like, normal me would be up all night long trying to figure out what I did wrong or what I need to do to fix it, but I knew my alarm was set for 5:45 in the morning. I'm like, I'm gonna be miserable, so I'm gonna leave this like this and deal with you tomorrow. So this says we need an M2.5 by 35, which I think are these big guys. Yep, M2.5 by 35. The thing we are missing is a big spacer, which looks like it's probably this guy right here. Yep, big old spacer. Okay. We got the master plate. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and side view. Let's see if I can, you know, I don't think you guys need to be up so high anymore. Let's just go ahead and drop you low. Hey, Daniel. Okay, so we need these two guys. Aluminum spacers. Like that. And then we need 2 of these guys. Please don't roll away. Thank you so much. Okay. And it says don't strip these, which is like kind of concerning. Like when it says don't do something, you're like, you kind of overthink it. At least I do. Okay, so this is going with this little lip facing upward. And then we've got a bolt going through here like so. And then this going through here. So I'm going to do a little bit of Loctite. Let's also not roll away on me, please. Thank you. Okay, so I got some Loctite on the end there. Let's do the same thing with the other side. Hey, TT. Don't go. We have so much to talk about. I know. I'll miss you all. Believe me. Every Wednesday, I'm very excited for the stream to see what sort of, one, to work on whatever we're working on, but also just see what kind of shenanigans we'll get up to for the day. Okay, so it looks like this guy's going in. I'm not going to be able to show this really well. I just realized, unless I go around here, I'll let you guys have this angle, and I will go around. I don't know if I'll be able to actually do what I think I can. Let's see if I can install this from like this angle, so that way you can kind of see what's happening. Okay. Okay. Okay, so these are still pretty loose right now, but I think I want them loose until I tighten in from the top. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I do want to just go. It says don't strip these, so did it strip? It stripped. There's no way. It like insta stripped with no force at all. That's wild. Okay. Well, we might be screwed. Yeah, that one insta stripped. See, that's what I'm saying, man. Lovely. That's not gonna work. Well, I might need to get a new plate. It seems like shipped. That sucks. Dude, that required no force to strip whatsoever. And I have a feeling that I probably can't pass through a nut in there. Lovely. Well, screws might be too small. I don't think they are. It says M2.5 by 35. Do not over tighten. I did not. If you end up stripping the thread, replace the bolt. And so, oh, cool. If you end up stripping the threads in the previous step, replace the bolt with a longer M2.5 by 41 secured lock nuts. So you can use longer ones. That's what we'll end up doing. But I'm gonna have to source that because I don't think I have any M2.5 by 40s. But I might. I'll check really quick. Yeah, the interesting thing is like the threads weren't even flush with the front of it, so it did not have a lot of teeth to bite onto. And I'm telling you, like, I did not tighten that very tight. It went from like loose to semi-loose back to loose again. There was no point of, oh, it feels kind of tight. So it's saying M2.5 by 40, definitely none in there. I know I bought a bunch of M2.5s for the build I did with Steve, but I have no idea whether they're 40 millimeter. It doesn't look like they are. So I will probably be ordering these pieces. I also don't think I have an M2.5 lock nut. Nope. No, I don't. Well, I will be ordering these. Good news is we'll have them by next stream. Yeah, I almost think if there's not a, based off what I just experienced, if there's not a benefit of going that route, like if using a lock nut is totally fine, that would be my recommendation for a default, because that stripped so easy. And like I mentioned, the threads didn't even go flush. So I mean, we're only talking, oh, they don't, looking here, looking in the hole, the thread's only like half the part. So yeah. Well, I saw it. It was a madman. He just kept turning it. Yeah, no, that was the easiest to strip ever. So let me, while we're here hanging out, let me really quickly do this. So it says M2.5 by 40 millimeter with the lock nut. So can I find M2.5 by 40? Yep, M2.5 hex. And this has a bunch of 40s, and it comes with lock nuts for 10 bucks. It'll be here on Friday. Perfect. Made of stainless steel. It's even got 45 millimeters, so yep, that's what we're gonna do. Purchase, so I don't forget. Be here on Friday. Order placed. Cool. All right, well, we've got it. So what did you end up using with your sprinkler drip project? I posted some photos. I think I pretty much cleared my entire phone of, all photos and upload them to the server, because I kept running out of, I'll show you guys, because we're probably going to end the stream. I'm going to do the giveaway in like 3 minutes here. So while we're waiting, I'll just show you guys this quick video of irrigation. This is, I'm pretty sure I sent it to my cousin. So ignore all the weeds. There's a lot of weeds. So this is the jumbo box I had to put in, and it's on a slope, so I couldn't get it fully in the ground. Even the one that was there wasn't fully in the ground. But the left side is what I installed, basically all that. I replaced every single clamp in there with a worm gear. I had one worm gear clamp in there that did end up stripping as well. It required a lot of force, but so partially buried the tube, and then it runs along the, right now it's all above ground. And then I have a drip running into, those are bare root cherries. Bare root raspberries. One of them finally just got its first leaves, which I'm pretty excited about, which I show there. So they are going out of dormancy. I just got them a few weeks ago. And then it goes on the top. Oh, there's Delilah. So fruit tree, that is a dwarf nectarine. This is apricot. This is a cherry tree. That is a plum tree. And then these are the beds I've been working on. So I started transplanting some things, but there's still a bunch of other stuff that needs to be transplanted more. So all of these are on drip. Yeah, Pupper's upset. So yeah, I hooked up drip for all these. Each bed has its own valve, like a hand valve, so you can turn it on or off if one of the beds does need water. Yeah, it's been like the bane of my existence. Also, I just finished moving all the soil by hand from the front yard, and it was 5 cubic yards of soil. So then yeah, there's a couple beds down there. That one on the right is a blackberry, the one on the left is a raspberry around the trellis, and then I had to cut the pipe and route it around the bottom side, and then these are all the tomatoes. And these are all started from seed, basically, so I'm really happy. It's my first year really doing from seed. And then those are blueberries. There's one raspberry in there, and then a strawberry plant down below. And then I had a bunch of bags up top here. I moved all those as well. So those are all for bell peppers. So they're all in the line right there and there. They need to be hooked up. So But yeah, this has been what I've been doing for all my free time the last 2 weeks, basically, is just hooking that up. And the only thing that's not on drip irrigation is these 2 little beds over here, which are for strawberries. So, but I'm pretty proud of how it's come along. It was a lot of work. I learned a lot. I told my dad last night about it, and I said, I know so much about irrigation now and drip, more than I probably ever wanted to know, but it just, things went wrong, as things tend to do. And so I had to learn through lots of trial and error of what worked and what didn't work. So I don't mind. I like lawn work because I spend so much time inside in front of a computer. Like, it's probably 95% of my life is in front of a computer or like some kind of, you know, building a thing. I don't mind doing the yard work. Like, it's nice to get out, get some sun, hear the birds, and just do a little bit of stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for the raspberries to spread. I'm excited for the raspberries to spread. I know that they're really prolific. I'm so ready for it. I'm gonna let Delilah out really quick. Yeah, I'm aware that they're super prolific and that they will grow roots everywhere, but that side of the yard, there's no plans for anything over there. It's just basically weeds and wood chips, so it's gonna go there. I like doing yard work because my 3-year-old comes and helps me. Thank you. Yeah, I'll post some photos of updates once there's like growth in, you know, another month's time, especially once all the peppers are growing and stuff. I'm really excited. I enjoy it. Like, I have weird hobbies and passions that are basically right now 3D printing, trading cards from like late 90s, early 2000s, and gardening. Those are my three things. So I made the mistake of planting raspberries straight in the ground and have since been pulling raspberry plants out of the lawn and up to 15 feet away. Yeah, I think that that's probably about the distance I have between the raspberries and the lawn is about 15 feet. Maybe not quite, maybe it's 10 feet. But yeah, I did do a lot of research on it and did see all the people saying, like, if you plant raspberries in the ground, like, it's game over. And I was fine with it. I'm totally fine with it. I did see people that have dealt with raspberries for like 15, 20 years, and when they went up in the lawn, most people said that they just mow over them and they don't ever get too large. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see. I know, a farm bot would be really cool. A farm bot would be really cool. Do you think I can find someone with a working Solo Zero and an ST-Link cable? I could have them pull the stock primer off the main board and toolhead board. Not really sure how that works. Maybe, honestly, have you reached out to Sobel yet? I've been wanting to do hydroponics for years. Hydroponics is super cool. I think that the 3D printing general did a lot of hydroponic stuff back in the day. I'm pretty sure. I would reach out to Sobel before doing anything else, man. It's possible. I think I might have a cable somewhere because I had to flash when I did the FL Sun printer. I had to flash it and I had to have a special cable. I'm not sure if it's the exact same one, but before doing any of that stuff, I would just reach out to Sobel. Say, hey, I updated some stuff on accident and it seems like it's not working. Can you send me the like raw firmware or like the firmware compiled that I can flash over? I would do that. So yeah, okay, let's do the giveaway, everyone. I'm gonna end this now because, like I said, I've got family here and we've stripped a screw. Well, like, perfect timing. I don't think that there's anything I could have done to have not stripped that screw other than like just leave it completely loose, and I don't know what purpose it would have served at that point. So I will mention that I read the instructions and that I was super careful, and it felt like it never hit even remotely tight. It went from kind of loose to back to super loose, and that if there's not any real benefit of having, like, if there's no issue that's gonna... Remember, thank you, Maurice. I don't know why I didn't see... It's weird, it popped up on screen but not in the chat. Thank you so much, Maurice, for the support. Yeah, if there's not a benefit other than an aesthetic thing, I would just say, at the very least, they should just include an M2.5 by 40 and a nylon lock nut just to have as a backup. Because I have a feeling, based off what I just saw there, that a lot of people will do that build this. Unless there is an M2.5 by 40 and I didn't see it, which... I don't think there was. I can't even find... There we go. No, these are not 40. So, yeah, there isn't. There is not. Okay. All right. Let's do this, everyone. Let us do this. Let's remove. Oh, there you are, Maurice. Weird. It just froze up. Taylor, the exact same issue. Okay, cool. That makes me feel better. Not that I want Taylor to suffer through the same things as me, but like, at least I know like, hey, it's not just a me thing. Because I read it, I read the instructions, which is the first step, and I mentally thought about it, and I know that with my hand the way it is today, like I have not been able to over torque things. That's why I've been using an Allen key to tighten things down, and it just never reached a point of like, I wish I could show you guys. Okay, let me do one last thing here. Then we're gonna do the giveaway, I promise. Because the threads go about halfway through this piece. So this piece in total, it looks like it's about I'm gonna say it's a 3.5 millimeter thick piece. And the threads go maybe halfway through that. So we're talking 1.75, less than 2 millimeters of threads on a 2.5. And it's in sheet metal, and it just, I don't know. I get that this is the part that they're using, and I don't have any issue with that. I just think that the better solution is either get rid of that and just do it where it's a lock nut, or at the very least say, hey, if you strip this, which you probably will, here's the lock nuts. So, okay, let's do this, everyone. Got extra tabs open. Nice, we got 77 entries. Did we hit 77 likes? No, we hit 65. Come on, everyone. Come on. I believe. All right, let's do this though. I'm still proud of the progress we made today. Considering it was a quick stream, we got Y rails on, X rails on, tool head housing, motors are all on. So I feel like we still kicked some booty. All right, 77 people, here we go. I just jumped in, forgot to hit it. Hey, no worries, dude. They probably oversized the tap hole before threading. Yeah, I'll mention it. So far they've been receptive to feedback, and I'm just gonna say, hey, this is what happened to me. I guess that's what happened to Taylor as well. I think that we've built enough stuff to probably know what's tight and what's not tight. It just wasn't tight, and then it was loose again. So if they listen to the feedback and change something, great. If not, then well, at least I feel like I've done my part, you know. All right, let us do this. So thank you to Polymaker for letting us do our weekly giveaways. I will have this email sent off to whoever wins before I take off for my trip tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Someone did mention to me that they'd won, and it looked like it was like 3 months ago, and never received their filament. So I did see I got an email from that person. I don't know if you're in chat, but when I am back from this trip, I will submit a ticket with Polymaker and see if I can get on that. It's happened like once or twice over the last couple of years, and they've always made it right. So I have no doubt that they'll get it resolved. So between the rail mounts and the known stripping, I'm not a big fan so far. Yeah, I mean, the rail mounts, like I said, I don't really have much to say bad about that, like, because I just don't know how I feel about it yet, and if it performs fine, I don't really care. Like, I'm not gonna knock something for being different, you know, but those threaded holes, to me, that's definitely that feels like an oversight. I will agree that is not great, that I will say. So I don't remember what I think I was talking about giveaway stuff. So anyways, yeah, whoever wins, I will contact you today. Thank you all for your support, and Polymaker for allowing us to do this giveaway. And also huge shout out to everyone that's been using the link in the description to purchase their filament. There's been quite a few orders coming through, and the channel does get a kickback from that, so it's always really appreciated. Okay, everyone, shuffling times today. I'm going to go with, we're doing 14 shuffles. That's it, it's the 14th, and I decided we're doing 14 shuffles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, everyone. Good luck to all. In 3, 2, 1. I'm sure they'll get back to you, Terminally Chill. Isn't the whole thing supposed to be open source? I would think that they would release that. David Brockwell, you are this week's winner. Let me do a little close-up of me because I'm really far out today with the camera. Congratulations to David, you are this week's winner. Like I said, I will send you an email today, or probably be today, but before I leave tomorrow, so you'll have an email in the next 24 hours with your form and your code, so that way you can get your Polymaker gift card. And thank you all to everyone for entering in. Also, just because we are going to be ending the stream, thank you to everyone that new members, returning members, the gifted memberships, the donations we came in, and just everyone hanging out. And for those of you that hit the like button, thank you for doing so. I don't actually know on the back end whether it helps a ton. I don't, but it seems like it does, and it's always appreciated, you know. So, yeah, I hope everyone that is traveling to Rocky Mountain has a wonderful trip. I will definitely miss you all, and am jealous of everyone getting to hang out and, you know, see cool printer stuff, but it's just not in the cards right now with everything going on. Well, this week it certainly wouldn't have worked out. I'll be at a wedding in Chicago, but for shows in general this year, it's I can't do it. I just can't do it this year. So I would happily buy the motherboard and toolhead board and just swap them out, but it's frustrating to have a $500 paperweight on my desk with no way to fix it myself. I agree. No, that sucks. I did something similar at one point with a printer. I don't remember what printer it was. I want to say it was a FlashForge, but it might have been a cheaty printer where I tried flashing like vanilla clipper on it, and I was able to flash it back. I think I ended up having to use one of, I don't think I have one right here anymore, but the little like EEPROM USB adapters and downloading a flashing utility. It's been a long time. I really don't remember the process you know, I had to go through. But yeah, thank you everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and there won't be a video this week. I'm hoping there'll be a video next week. I'm tonight gonna be working, and tomorrow before I leave on this flight to try to get like position myself so when I'm back in town next week I can get right back to it. But it's been just a lot of stuff. So a Neptune 3 is hot in charge. Yeah. Okay. All right, everyone. Cheers. Have a wonderful day, and I will catch you all next time.